This is a quick before and after preview of what you're about to see in this unedited training session of a very reactive 7-year-old pony who's about to be started under saddle. And this is day 1 unedited video of teaching him to react positively to stimulus in preparation for accepting a saddle. The sound is bad and I apologize, but it does get better about 5 minutes into the video. I had already introduced him to the rope being thrown over him. We worked on his back legs as well, as he used to kick and not accept any contact there. And also he had been introduced to the stick and string, and this is just a review for him. This part of the video anyway is a review because we haven't done that for about a month with him, and then new stimulus will be introduced. The fact that he's pooping shows that he's already nervous, even though the rope has been introduced to him. I am throwing the rope at him with rhythm because that would be the least scary way to do it. And I have my hand up by his eye in case he decides to run towards me, that I can kind of direct his head the other way. My body is positioned 45 degrees to his shoulder, which keeps me safe from a strike or again running me over, and I have some control over tipping his nose towards me so his hindquarters can step away from me. And what I'm looking for is for him to stand still and to show me a sign of relaxation. This horse is a ball of nerves who, even when he stands still, he is shaking out of fear. But I do want to reward him standing still because otherwise he bolts. So we are trying to establish a starting point with him where he would stand still when he's scared and also show me a sign of relaxation. I'm going to do it on the other side, and then we're going to introduce a bigger stimulus, which is the stick and string. Good boy. So having your hand up by his eye and kind of tipping his nose a bit towards you is a safety precaution in case he really goes to bolt, and my body's 45-degree angle to his shoulder, so that again if he goes to bolt or strike, then I'm kind of out of the way. Good boy, bud. Okay, so now we're going to introduce this stick and string. He's already seeing the white handkerchief here, so he does not like that right now. Alrighty, so same kind of idea that we're going to put, I want my hand to be over here in case he runs towards me, because a lot of times they run towards you when they're scared. But this doesn't seem to bother him much, which is really good. And when you build it up like this, from one less scary thing to the next more scary thing, they usually react a lot better. So I'm just going to follow him here until he stops. But I'm going to keep his nose here. And it's hard because of his size. It's hard to have it precisely. There you go. So when he stops. Okay, so he just gave me a sigh, so I'm going to relieve him from the stimulus. Good boy. And again, this is not his first time. He used to be a lot more reactive to this. I had to chase him all over the place. But I just have to check because I haven't done this in a while. Good boy. Alright. Good boy. I'm just going to do some on the other side. And there's a commotion here because there's a little stallion who's chasing a mare on the outside of the pen, so that doesn't help much with these ponies. So if he doesn't give one of the signs of relaxation, which is cocking his leg, sighing, bringing his head down, blinking or licking and chewing, then I'm going to wait for 15 minutes and then stop. Okay, good boy. Good boy. Good boy. And now we're going to introduce the scariest thing. But this is all getting him ready for the saddle pad and the saddle. See, he doesn't even like this when it's even on the ground. So, now the good thing about this stick is that it's expendable. So, again, we build the horse up. We build his tolerance up. And first I'm going to let him chase it as it's flying. I'm also going to kind of help me here. So, when horses chase something, it builds their confidence. When something is coming towards them, it's scary to them. And when they can't see it right underneath their chest, that's the scariest part, because they can't see under or right behind them. That's why they sometimes kick, because they just hear something but they don't see it. So I might even make it longer here and kind of move it around with rhythm as I'm walking around. There we go. And now it's time to introduce it towards him. I'm going to make it smaller. See how he's reacting already? It's not a good deal for him. So let's just try to introduce it slowly. There you go, good. Fortunately, this keeps on doing itself, so I kind of have to cheat here. Good boy. And release, because at least he stood still and he showed some kind of curiosity towards it. So I'm going to release here. Now when he's on the side, see how much more reactive he is. So I'm going to just flop it with rhythm, and I have my hand here so in case he runs into me, I can push him away. But he's all twitchy, so I'm not releasing anything because he is so nervous he's twitching. His body is all a lump of nerve. Good boy. Keep his face, kind of nose tipped towards me. Good. Release. And now let him follow it again. Good boy. And then we release a little longer, or a lot longer, because this just wouldn't stay. So this is usually very dangerous right here. You see that reaction? So this is why we don't put it under him straight away. We try to put it on the side to build his confidence, because he can run better away from it. And we just slap it. Okay, so however big reaction he might have, I just don't want him running on top of me. So he's free to move backwards or to the side. Oh, he just licked and chewed. Even though he moved a little bit, I released on that, and I'm going to continue going with, oh, good boy. So this horse is the type that freezes and then bolts. Okay? So he's scared to, look at his position. He's scared to move. His nostrils are huge, breathing heavily. And we need to practice that he might be scared and he can freeze, but he doesn't bolt. Good. Now I'll release because he stood there, even though I know he's nervous. But standing there is a lot better than bolting. Good boy. Good. See how he's starting to cock his rear left leg now? Oh, and now it's scary because it doesn't move with rhythm. And this is exactly what's going to happen on the trail or the kids' party, or when a bunch of kids are doing shenanigans around him. They're not going to do anything with rhythm. So, but we start here to get a starting point, and then we introduce sudden motions as he's already conditioned and it's habitual for him to want to stay still, right? When he's scared. So I like that he's free to run. There's slack on the lead rope. He's free to run backwards, sideways, hopefully not on top of me, forward, but he's choosing to stay. So I'm going to release here, and I'm going to let him follow this thing all over the place. Okay, and now we're going to test it again. So if this was a bigger horse, I would never do what I just did. You know, you don't stand in front of them when you lift the flag up. You just don't. So ideally I would be here, 45 degrees, kind of having my hand here under his arm, but because he's so little, it kind of messes up my ankles. See how that went underneath him? And again, he's like, oh my goodness, I can't see this funny thing. But that's just normal. So be careful that the wind doesn't blow, and I'm going to do it on purpose. Because, okay, I'm trying to prepare. So he can jump over me if the wind blows this thing as I'm flapping it around. If it blows it on this side, he might get scared and jump towards me. So that's why my hand is always here to whack him away. And I wouldn't recommend that you let that happen, that the wind blows it on the other side so he sees it from the other eye, because that's a different brain on that horse on that other side. We got to train it first. But that's pretty good for now. And I'm going to go on the other side and make it smaller. See how she stood on this side, and this side is like, what is this thing? Totally new reaction to it. So if I was a little more organized, I would have had this done shorter. And right here, we're again like introducing the small thing, okay? And make sure we're organized, that he doesn't jump into me, that I can whack him away. I wish this would stay still. All right. Good boy. And again, I see his leg is cocked, but he's all twitchy. So if he stands there for about 15, oh, he just licked and chewed, which is, he's showing me now another signs of relaxation, thought, and trying, even though he's very, very scared because he's totally twitchy right there. He is also showing me tries, like he's trying to think about it. And I want to reward that. So a horse that has this level of intense nervousness, you can't expect them to just stop shaking, but as long as they're trying to think about what's just happening, I would definitely reward that. So when I extend it now, might be a different reaction. I'm still trying to stand 45 degrees to his shoulder, so if he strikes, he doesn't strike me because he can't reach me at that angle. This is pretty good. Again, he's totally twitching and being nervous about it, but he's trying to stand, which is great. And so in 5 more seconds, I would release. And there we go. And then we're gonna go follow that thing. Good boy. And so the next thing is to touch him with it or to touch his legs with it, because inevitably something will touch him one day that's scary to him. And then he can say, oh, maybe I was worried too much about nothing really. So you got to be careful with this too, because again, horses who get scared, some of them will come towards you going, mommy, save me, you know, or because you're a herd of two right now and they feel safety when they're closer to the herd. So if he's out there, he might say, I need to come next to you. Yeah, but see the difference now and how his head is going down and he's not shivering quite as much. Good. And now we're going to try his back legs too, which is a big touchy point for him. You see that? So it's okay. I'm not going to release until he stops. See how he is? My hand is extended because that can happen on top of me right there. And if he was a big horse, that's even worse, right? But we're gonna not release this. I'm gonna try to keep it on his leg as much as possible until he stops, and I'll kind of stop. Okay, even though he's not showing me any signs of relaxation, at least I want him to just stop. I want to train him to just stop. If he's scared, stop. The first thing you need to do is stop, not run, because he's a bolting horse. Now you always want to keep his head towards you so that he moves the butt, and in case he kicks at it. That little stallion here is not helping. Tiger, move. Okay. All right. Now, when he learns to wear this sort of, oh, he licked and chewed. I'm going to release. But the thing that I was going to say, when he learns to kind of wear it on his back leg, I will release even if he doesn't show me other signs of relaxation, okay? So I want to see, now this became a problem too because he forgot about it. So it all takes a lot of repetition. This is why horses are so much work, because it's all maintenance. You can teach them something, and unless it becomes a habit, the moment you don't do it, they kind of revert back to whatever they were thinking before about that. Okay, so again, I'm gonna put it here so he doesn't run me over. Much better reaction, so I'm gonna reward that. Now he's moving. If he's moving, he goes right back on his leg and reward it. Here, reward it. Here, reward it. Here. So as long as he's not running away and he's not kicking at it, I am going to reward this. Okay, now he can come closer to me. Good boy. All right. And I want him to know that this is not a sign for him to move, because I'm not looking at him. I'm not pointing my arm, you know, showing him the direction he needs to move. I'm having my arm right here, relaxed, and I'm looking kind of over there, not at him. I'm not squaring my shoulders towards him. So all these are signs of, you know, I want you to move, but since I'm not doing it, it's got to be clear to him that I'm not asking him to move. Now, I love that his leg is cocked. He's breathing heavily, but he's choosing to trust and stay. And that's exactly what you want when you ride a horse, is that they might be scared. They will be scared. It's inevitable that a horse will get scared. But when they're scared, what do? Do they trust you? Do they kind of console with you? Or do they say, you know, screw that, I'm running for my life and hope you hang on tight enough? All right, good boy. So I'm going to release on this. Good. And we're going to do, see the front now? The testing. But this is all good for him. So we're going to do this day in and day out until he could care less about this thing, okay? And so now I'm going to do the other side. Look at all of that reaction right there. Look at that. Crazy, right? Crazy. But we're not releasing. We're not releasing until he stands still. And I'm very, see that right there? That's why you can never like lose sight of where your body is and where the horse is in relation to your body. Where they're gonna, you gotta anticipate where they would run, okay? And have your arm up here so that you can redirect their head if you need to. All right. Oh, he licked and chewed, so I'm gonna release that. Okay. And now on this side, he is much worse about blocking me. So I don't have as much of a chance of better control. It is so sad to me that when this horse was born, nobody took the time to introduce him to the world. And that he has to experience such intense fear right now. Whoever breeds horses, I would plead with them, when your baby horse is born, please take the time to just pet them, introduce them to the rest of the world, and make it not a big deal. This horse doesn't have to go through all this emotion if things were introduced to him when he was just born. We have a perfect example of that with a little tiny miniature foal that was born here. And you know, when she was born, full of attitude and craziness, and in a matter of, you know, 2-3 weeks, she now is free out in the pasture with the full-size horses, with her mom, with her dad, and she comes to people when she sees them. She runs over, all full of curiosity, gets into all kinds of troubles with everything we have here. But guess what? She's not going to be scared of the real world. She's not in a stall. She has herd dynamics that she understands. She understands her feet and distance and where to step. So I'm going to call this very good, okay? Good bud, good. And this is going to happen. I'm going to have to repeat this a lot until this horse does not care about where this thing ever is. Okay? Again, we start with rhythm just so that we do an introduction and they're not, you know, we convince them that that's not going to kill them. And from there on, we got to be free with it because that's how things are in the real world. All right, I'm going to quickly introduce the pad. And this is, he's never seen a pad before. And we're going to just leave this here just in case. Move your butt, bud. Move your butt. Good boy. My horses have already played with this. Okay, so the same thing with the pad. Come on, bud. So when they're stuck like this, if you go at an angle and look at their hindquarters, you usually can unstuck their feet. I'm gonna wave this thing up again, around, and snip it. Okay, and in comparison to the flag, even though this is a lot bigger, it should be a lot easier just because it doesn't flap so irrationally and it doesn't make such big noises. So it should be better with this. Yes, are you better? I think it'll be better with this. Again, I'm going to stand to the side here because I don't want to get run over as much as possible. And kind of like flapping. So this, he takes a lot better too because what did we do with the rope at first? We kind of tossed it on him and back, tossed it on him and back. There we go. Good boy. Yeah. So now though that he knows this, the question is what happens when he falls off the back? Yeah, right? So he might have a reaction to kick it, but again, we've already worked with the stick and string on catching his back legs. So I'm going to do it on the other side and I'm going to let him wear it for a minute. Okay? And understand that he can move with this. And then that would be preparing him to carry a saddle in a few days. Okay. And then he just needs to go and be exposed to different neighborhoods and to different noises and everything he has never seen, being locked up in a stall forever. 7 years. Right, bud? You're 7 years old? Alright, so I'm going to send him out from here. So in case, like, he still realizes he can move with it. So now he's thinking, he's confused because I've been desensitizing him. Alright, good boy. That was good. Let's try that again. Let's try that one more time, bud. Good job. I love that he turns towards me instead of showing me his two heels that he might want to kick at me. But he's actually turning and listening for direction, which is awesome. Oh, good boy. Come on, move. See, now my body language and my energy is more active, kind of saying, hey, but go move somewhere. Okay? Good. Now, I want you to go that way. Good. There we go. No, I want you to go that way, bud. Good boy. I love that this is moving on him. It's supposed to be, we're preparing him for the scary stuff. Oh, good boy. Go the other way. Good boy. Come on. Oh, he's worried about the white flag still. But that will all disappear. So now as it falls off his butt, that will be a good test. Yep, good boy. Excellent. Good boy. Good boy. And I think we're going to end that session here. I'm going to work with him off camera for a few days, and then we'll see how he's progressed when he's ready and not